I do want to see this. How MrBeast met his new girlfriend.
Oh God, that one was. So, no, the Mile High is. I was going to Antarctica.
Mile High.
Whoa, hey yo.
Well, you don't want a mile.
Do you know what the Mile High Club is?
No.
Yeah.
That's when you fornicate on an airplane. Mile High Club.
Gotcha. Wait, the Mile High is the
This is good. This is a good palate cleanser. This is a good palate cleanser.
tradition, not the club. No, we were going to Antarctica. So we're in South Africa, about to go to Antarctica. I got Logan, I got Casey Neistat, I got the entourage. We're doing it.
They're your entourage.
And then, and then we wake up and they're just like, everyone in Antarctica has COVID.
Did you watch a Cult of Elon today so I can watch it on your VOD? No, man, I didn't watch a Cult of Elon today. I watched it a long ass time ago.
And I'm just like, what does that mean? They're like, every single person in the base in Antarctica tested positive for COVID today. Because it's like this thing where they let like billionaires come in and blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And so the billionaire before us was just like, fuck everyone. We're just going to give them all COVID. God. And so they're like all in Antarctica. They had to all be medevaced out and all of it. And so like we were like about to board the plane, fly there and do 50 hours in Antarctica. And now it's just a wasteland. There's no one there to like clear off the ice runway or anything. And so we're like, you know, maybe we can figure it out. So we're like chilling in South Africa for a couple of days. And then I was just at dinner with a friend. And then her friend, who's my current girlfriend, just stopped by. I was like, she just stopped by to say hi to her. And like within 5 seconds, I was like, holy shit, this girl is beautiful. And then, but I have to go through the test because like, I don't really get along with women if like they don't love learning, they're not obsessive, they don't have a hobby, they don't like their job. Like there's just certain things where if you have these traits, we get along really well. Yeah. And if you don't, like it's impossible for us to hang out. Yeah. So I had to put her through the ringer and start asking questions. Yeah. What do you do? And then she was like, I'm an author. And I was like, fuck yeah, good. She has a hobby. And then we started talking and I just tried to get a feel if she likes learning. Like, you know, whatever. What do you like to do? You know, sounds cringe, but you know, like what kind of content you consume, and it was more like documentary, educational, and like the type of stuff she does. And she has multiple degrees. You could tell she likes learning. She's about to get a neuroscience degree just for fun, not even to get a job.
That's amazing.
Because like she invested in Bitcoin and did well, so she doesn't even like need it. And she was like checking all the boxes. And I had like these 10 things where like, if I meet a girl that's like beautiful and they have these 10 traits, like we're gonna be literally best friends. Right. Checked every single one of them.
Nice feet. Nice feet.
No, that was 11. Okay. I can give on that one.
Yeah. Okay.
This is my nerdiness is showing.
Andrew, such a fucking asshole, dude. Nice feet. Come on.
Because
now
it's like
now I'm here. Yeah. This is where I come in. Oh no, I'm saying for you.
I'm like the true definition of a nerd. Like I just need.
Everyone in the chat is like freaking the fuck out. Like, yeah, he could have worded this infinitely better, okay, with respect to like what his expectations out of a partner is. You know what I mean? But it's fucking MrBeast. So of course he is, you know, turning it into a fucking top 10 Watch Mojo video because his brain only works in that way. Okay, that's it. That's it. That's just like that's why he's like, yeah, I had a checklist, you know. Then I made her do the Squid Game. But it's like nothing he said is all that weird. He's like, yeah, I want a partner here. I'll clean it up for you so you understand. It's like saying, I want a partner that is interested in a variety of different things, who is interested in self-improvement, who's interested in like intellectual endeavors. You know what I mean? That's like a normal way to describe that, not as like a checklist. Okay. That's the point. That's what he said. Women don't have hobbies. Wait, what? No, he didn't. Did he say that? I didn't even understand that.
Need a partner who loves learning. That's insane. You know, and just wants to improve. Like for us now, like an idea of a date is just to like take an IQ test and then study and see if we can get it higher. Like I love it. And I love watching documentaries and like we'll go buy 2 books, we'll read it and like quiz each other. Absolute nerd. I'm a fucking nerd, but that's what I needed. Someone like that. Yeah. And it's like very hard to find someone like that. That's also like obviously very beautiful. Hot. Yeah. And so
we just stick up for misogyny. Man, you know I love misogyny, obviously. Of course I'm gonna stick up for it.
Oh yeah, the second she like checked all those boxes, this was probably like the 40th different girl I had talked to since my ex. And I was just waiting till I found someone that like met all these criteria. The second she checked them, I was like, that's it.
On.
Yeah.
Wow.
So then I waited a couple of days, and then I just DM'd her. I was like, oh, so your book, can I read it? She sent it over, read the whole book, and it was just like acting like it was the greatest book ever, asking her questions until we hung out again. Yeah.
And then you.
I love when people are shocked that MrBeast, who is famous now because he literally sat and like watched 10 hours of Jake Paul's It's Everyday Bro, or sat around and literally did like, black site CIA torture shit to himself until he fucking got famous, is gonna be a normal guy. Like, what was your expectation? You thought like he's like a normal dude? I think it's weirder if he is a normal dude. What are you doing? Well, I'll show you later. You have to break the doors down. Oh my God. My mom wanted to see what MrBeast looks like. She has no idea. He said women don't like learning, your bias is showing. Did he say that? MrBeast got the concerning neurodivergent Riz. Didn't he count from 1 to 100,000 when he was like 14 years old? Your idea of a good date is forcing the girl to watch JRE? First of all, those aren't dates, you fucking weirdo.
You officially ask her, you go, do you want to be my girlfriend? Or you guys just talk
Well,
for a
that's
while
where it's
and then-
weird because she's in South Africa, which is like a 30-hour flight away. She can't come to America because she doesn't have a visa.
Yeah.
So like, this is how you know I'm into her, because I like a 30-hour flight.
MrBeast went to prison, dude. He has a bad past. Google it. I remember this video. This video was insane. Or maybe not this video, but honestly, you just call this being a nerd, but I just think it's him being a beast. Bro, this man has all the money on the planet and fucking refuses to leave North Carolina, and you guys are like freaking the fuck out over him being weird. Yeah, he's weird, man. Yeah, definitely. Okay.
Flight there. And a 30-hour flight back.
You've
is fucking
flown
crazy.
to go hang?
Yeah, so I just fly out there to hang out with her and show that like I'm a real human, because I literally.
Here's the thing about MrBeast. A lot of people are always like, dude, don't you find his content exploitative, right? He's like taking advantage of poor people and like serving them the dream or whatever. And to them, I always say, motherfucker, that's literally TV. Like, it's the same shit. You can't on the one hand be like, MrBeast, what he's doing is completely fucking unacceptable. Also simultaneously enjoying 90 Day Fiance. You know what I mean? Like, it's the same shit. What do you think the Amazing Race is? Okay? He's just doing it, but it's more accessible. He's doing it in a more accessible fashion, so you can fucking talk shit about that because it might get to him eventually. Like, he might hear that criticism. So it's like part of the reason why a lot of people on the internet get mad at the same standards that they do not apply to like television, because television is untouchable. It's not unacceptable. I just personally dislike him. Exactly. At least you're honest about it.
Really saw her for like 20, 30 minutes at dinner.
Yeah.
And then I instantly flew back because the Antarctica shoot's canceled.
Yeah.
And so it's like, it was a little weird at first, because it's not like, oh, let's just hang out. It's like, hey, can I?
Why are you sucking off MrBeast? There's no criticism of him is legit. I mean, I'm not sucking him off. And I do think that there's valid criticisms. Like the prison one I criticized because I thought it was like undermining the American carceral state and how fucking horrifying it is. Making it seem like it's like a fun game to play. But I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh my God, I can't believe he's saying it's just like the grossest shit that I've ever fucking heard in my entire life about women, because he said like, I don't get along with women. Or that his girlfriend, who's an author, he made it seem like it was her hobby.
Spend 30 hours on a plane to see you, and then I instantly have to spend 30 hours the next day to fly back because I have a company to run. And just flying there takes 3 entire days on a plane. So then like the visa, this is where it gets interesting. To get a visa, they're like, oh, it'll take 2 years, like even like a tourist visa.
Yeah, same with India to here.
Yeah, it's brutal.
Yeah.
But one thing that's interesting is if you when people cancel, so it's a website, you see all the dates. It'll be like the first date's 8 months down the road. Well, when people cancel, it's first come, first serve. And so when we found that out, so like we had our appointment like 8 or 9 months out, but when someone canceled 6 months out, we just paid someone to sit there and refresh and then book it for when it came out.
Wow.
So like someone would cancel 6 months out, ours, fucking ours. Now it's like, so it's like, great, all right, now I get her in 6 months. It's fucking perfect, fuck flying over there.
Yeah.
And then like 2 days ago, like we just hired this person to do it, and that's all they did. Like
Brilliant.
all day, just refresh that page. And then we get it 4 months out. And I'm like, fuck yeah, this is great. 3 months, every day I'm waking up and it's getting a little shorter. And then it's like a drought, like no cancellations, no nothing. I'm like, God damn it, I still gotta wait 3 months. That means I gotta fly to South Africa like 4 times.
To hire her and sponsor a visa copywriter.
I don't know. All that shit takes time. But this is the quickest method.
That seems like a great solution.
He's like,
I don't know about
cut that from the episode. Cut that one.
I'm freshing you screen.
She starts giving you attitude on the phone. You're like 8 months. Oops. Weird.
But then I wake up.
God damn it. This is the point where I lose track of the fucking conversation that they're having in the video because I'm too busy monitoring the chat because chat is like ready to fucking pop off.
One day from like 20. we have like 20 missed
shut
calls.
up, Dub. He said, shut up, Dub.
Shut up, Dom.
System here.
Romantic
I
ass.
had 3 visa attorneys looking into it. Those were options. They just take longer.
Yeah.
But
Shut up, bro. The flight
Jet lag. I was looking
You don't
after
think you
him.
have visa attorneys, dogs?
Yeah.
we were paying out the ass on the attorneys. But then I wake up one
Unless
day.
you have to pay him to lie to your girlfriend.
She comes over, it's just a bad date, and I'm like, you know what? Hey, tell her she can't come back.
Tell her the borders are closed.
I did think of that because, like, I could fly over there, and if things didn't go well, I could just stop answering her calls, and there's nothing she can do about it. Which I did think about that at one point. I was like, if I just
I agree with all your points with chat going on, but it's also so cringe watching men be so unfiltered, embarrassing, cry. Yeah, I mean, I think they want to impress him because they see him as like a, incredibly profoundly successful content creator. And he wants to impress them because they're like kind of the cool guys in his eyes. You know what I mean? And that's precisely why this is like this weird back and forth. I mean, I did I did the Andrew Schultz podcast, the Flagrant podcast, and it was awesome. It's just like that. It's always going to come across like a little cringe.
respond to her text, like, what's she gonna do?
It's over.
She can't fly to
America.
Yeah. So, but anyways, I wake up one day to like 20 missed calls, and the person's like, yeah, we got an appointment like 5 hours from now, but she needs to go there. And she was still asleep. So I'm like calling her family to like go wake her up. And someone literally canceled like that day, and she got in there. And
She got in.
Yeah, she got in, and then it was like 9 months down to like 2 weeks because we just took spots when people canceled. It was great. And then there you go.
So now she's on the way.
Yeah, but then we used up like 80 of the 90 days. You get
I didn't even know he had a girlfriend. I'm more surprised by that.
Visa. So now we're having to figure out something else because now she can't really come.
Hasan does seem to have a bit of a soft spot for wealthy, successful men that found a lane. Yeah, no, I famously, routinely refuse to criticize wealthy people. I mean, it seems like you definitely understand my content. I mean, regularly I do that. Or I'm a fucking normal person, and I literally understand that, like, most of the time, guys like MrBeast are, like, inoffensive for the most part. Even though, if you want to look at the ethics of what the fuck they're doing, yes, of course there's going to be plenty of instances where they come across as completely unethical from your moral compass. But you also can't operate in the real world unless you fucking understand how normies behave and can also LARP as a normie sometimes. Okay, that's the issue. If you're like fucking losing your mind, shitting on MrBeast and making him seem like he's a beacon of immoral, business practices, or just like a beacon of fucking evil, you're not a normal person. You're never gonna be able to have a single fucking normal relationship for the rest of your life. It's just the unfortunate truth. Okay, but this is literally why people fucking find this community to be toxic. This is literally why people find politics to be unapproachable. This is precisely the reason why people think leftists are fucking joy-killing woke skulls. His content is not for me. It's for literal fucking children, okay? It's for children. They love that shit. They lose their fucking minds. It's like pretty universally liked, though, overall. And it's like, ultimately, it's not like he's fucking doing a 24-hour let's go harm trans people challenge. You know what I mean? He is extremely inoffensive in the sense that like he goes out of his way to ensure that it's not racist, it's not homophobic, it's not transphobic, and you still are like, well, there's still issues with the content. Of course there's issues with the content. He's making content. And he's also not a fucking leftist. Like, of course. But you're being fucking insane if your expectation is like every person needs to be like me or something. It's weird. You're being weird. And you're not holding everyone to the same fucking no shot. Jimmy is intentionally offensive in my opinion. No, he's intentionally inoffensive. What the fuck are you talking about? He wants to be as like marketable as possible. You know? We just watched a 55-minute video essay. We watched a 55-minute video essay of like a fucking family of psychotic far-right like pedophile defenders, and then moved over to this, and the intensity that chat has towards someone who is literally intentionally inoffensive like MrBeast is like almost identical, which is fucking crazy, dude. That's crazy. But he's unintentionally cringe and accessible, so it's much easier to shit on him other than some other multimillionaire. Exactly. That's the perspective that I was trying to drive home. That's actually a conversation that I think I had with Danny Gonzalez and Curtis Connor. I think we had this on the podcast, but maybe we didn't have it on the podcast. But we definitely had this conversation. It might have been off camera, or on camera. But like we literally talked about this, where they were like, how do you pair up the reality like with respect to like how people like MrBeast get criticized, and it's like it's literally just because they are accessible. Okay, that's it. And it's the same for me too. Accessibility is the main reason as to why people fucking love shitting on YouTubers and whatnot. That's it. But yeah, he is like a little cringe, okay, for sure. And you're just like doing that thing where you pad the deck with like additional moral scrutiny, because it's not enough for you to say he's just kind of cringe and it's not for me, you know? He's very popular and he's kind of cringe and it's not for me. You can't just say that. You got to add like additional layers of like morality onto it, where it's like his content is about destroying the poor, you know? So you can just like hate on someone and then feign moral superiority. Why do you defend him so hard? I literally just said he's kind of cringe and his content is not for me. But you're literally incapable because, yeah, see, now I'm just a hater. MrBeast sucks. Why are you defending him so hard? I'm not defending MrBeast. I'm more so defending the idea of how leftists should carry themselves. Okay? And I think that leftists carry themselves in a way that makes them perpetually unfuckable and perpetually boring and perpetually toxic, even though the values that you supposedly espouse are supposed to be the right ones. Okay? It frustrates me. It frustrates me. Like, you don't have to fucking attack every single person. Like, and you are the same people who then go and stand fucking BTS. You know what I mean? It's not like, what, you think those guys are fucking all infallible beacons? They're moral deities? No, but it doesn't matter because you like their music and you think they're fucking hot. So you don't have that same exact moral compass for every single fucking piece of content that you consume. This is the exact same shit that people who are like attacking other motherfuckers for like fat shaming on the internet do when they have stan accounts, and it's not like they're fucking standing fat people on the stan accounts. They're standing fucking Harry Styles. Okay, it's always the same bullshit. Jimin would never hurt me. Don't say that. Yeah, I know. And there's nothing wrong with BTS either, by the way. Don't misunderstand me. I didn't even fucking say that they're bad or anything like that. I'm confused with hella people saying I just hate him. Why do you just hate someone? Law, it's a fucking YouTuber, so much energy for nothing. I mean, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't. I'm not in the game to like get people to like MrBeast. If they don't like him, they don't like him. You know what I mean? You're not the target market. But like in a sea of fucking ruthless, like rugged individualist, capitalist content creators, like MrBeast doesn't make the fucking top 10 of like dudes who are purposely making bad shit. Okay, that's it.
Because
Yeah.
we're trying to save some days for Christmas, and I just can't fly to South Africa. It's so far away.
Why doesn't she just fly here?
Because she can only come here 90 days a year.
Oh.
Tourist visa.
But they don't really. That's,
Well, I know.
Yeah.
And so that's why we're about to push it. But there is a chance, like, she could come here and they're just like, nah, fuck you. Go back to Africa.
Yeah, you don't want to risk that. You go a few days over, they check the books, and they're like, oops, you can't come in.
Yeah, well, the worst part is you don't know till you land. So she can land, go through everything, and then the border agent's like, nah, go back to fucking Africa.
yeah, but at least she's flying.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, you know what?
Yeah.
Fuck her.
Do you want to see me or not? Like, that's what you got to say.
So that's what I'm currently
You don't
trying
like
to
miles? You don't like frequent flyer miles? You can use them to upgrade next time to a late flight.
Oh, man, that's great.
But it's great
Yeah.
because, like I said, she's a nerd like me. So, like, we're
that's
just,
great.
yeah, it's perfect.
So you guys do like Zoom dates and stuff?
We honestly play Scrabble on our phones and try to
Really?
increase our.
Telling everybody they're a hypocrite about any of their impossible, sanctimonious online positions is always the quickest universal trigger. Oh, yeah. It's so frustrating for everyone to hear that. Every fucking couple of months, whenever I bring that up, people go, ah, not me. All my content is clean. It's like, that doesn't say anything about you. You know that, right? It's just content that you're watching, dumbass. Your fucking endless proselytizing in the fucking chat is not making you a good person, or the type of content that you consume is not making you an ethical consumer. There is no such thing as ethical consumption. Okay? The only reason why you hyper focus on what kind of content is good and what kind of content is bad is because you're powerless. You're just a fucking cog in the machine, and you freak the fuck out when someone tells you that. Okay? And then you think, oh, there must be some other underlying reason as to why Hasan is not immediately critical of MrBeast. It can't be the things that he is correctly telling me currently and communicating to me. There must be some other fucking reason. Okay? It's not. Like, these guys in that room that he's talking to have said worse shit than he has, and I did a fucking podcast with them because I understand that human beings are complex, and I understand that sometimes human beings are going to have fucking bad opinions that you don't fucking agree with, okay? But if I shut every goddamn person off from the conversation because I want to appear sanctimonious, I'd be like you in a fucking tinier and tinier and tinier splinter Discord as I make sure that I'm as inoffensive as possible to a fucking hyper-specific community, endlessly angry about the world. That's why I always say touch fucking grass. That doesn't just mean literally go outside and touch a fucking piece of grass, like a blade of grass. That literally also means understand that, like, not everyone in the fucking real world is going to have, you know, your exact identical opinions, and you shouldn't fucking constantly and endlessly hold it against themselves, especially when you're talking about content consumption, which is otherwise completely just ridiculous. Like, it's not, you're not doing anything there. Anyway. Chatters acting like this, wonder why there aren't, more big left creators. Yeah, it's just impossible. It's impossible to maintain those standards all the fucking time. And sometimes you guys got to fucking get yelled at a little bit. So you chill the fuck out. Okay?
It's dumb. I feel it now that I say it out loud. I'm realizing how bad it's gotten.
No,
but it's great.
This is like when you describe Game of Thrones to someone who's never watched it, and you're talking about what you believe is the coolest show ever. But you're like, dude, it's dragons and like castles and like.
And I'm like,
what the fuck are you watching, bro?
All I've ever wanted is someone to just read books with me, watch documentaries, and just like learn with me. Because then, if you're not learning, then it's like I can make $100,000 an hour or whatever. So it's like, how can I justify spending an hour of time with you if I'm not becoming a better person?
What a flex that was.
That's why it's like I have to be getting better with my partner.
Yeah.
Or how the fuck am I going to invest 20, 30,000 hours?
You literally know the value of your time.
Yeah, basically.
Like every time you go on a date with her, you were spending an immense amount of money.
That's why I was so particular because it's hard because I've optimized my life so much in a way where down to the numbers, I can't just shut it off and be like, oh, well, this doesn't count. I know the value of that 2-hour date at fucking Red Lobster. I know it. And so if I'm not getting smarter, it's just like, it just literally destroys my entire psychology.
Yeah.
And I lose my mind. I'll have a mental like fucking breakdown. I'll be like, this is not like, if I extrapolate this out over 10 years, I'm fucked. Like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
But now that I have someone that makes me smarter and we like learn together, it's great. I forward extrapolate, I'm way smarter and it works.
How serious does that get? Like when you go to take a pee, are you like calculating how much time you're wasting right now?
The problem is like, we're not robots, so we can't work all the time. So the way I
Notice how
see
I said
it,
that's a problem.
it's annoying. I wish you could. So you gotta basically, when you're not working, you have to be full decompression. So like you're either working and going 100 miles an hour, or you're like doing nothing you don't like, outsource everything. You shouldn't cook, you shouldn't touch anything, you shouldn't go shopping, you should only do what you feel like doing so you quickly recharge and then you can get right back to it. You know what I mean? So like there are certain things that are just necessary because you have to recharge. Like just having fun and not working.
What is decompression for you?
Weirdly enough, watching documentaries, reading books, that kind of stuff. Like that's the kind of stuff I enjoy, or watching anime and things like that.
Yeah.
And when you're decompressing, you need to be fully decompressing.
Yeah.
So then like there's time between you working is as short as possible so you can just keep going.
What's the best documentary you've seen?
Loose
The last one I watched was like on Alexander the Great.
He said lose change.
It was like at one point he ruled half the world, and the other half was owned by like the Persian king at the time.
And he bodied him too.
Yeah, well, and they were like, and he was 23, and they were like, hey, let's just split the world 50-50. You can own half the world. I'll give you all this money. And the motherfucker was like, fuck you, I want it all. And when I heard that story, I was like, that's crazy. So I just like went balls deep and like learning about this crazy ass motherfucker.
He looked at the moon and wept for he could not conquer it.
Agreed. Yeah, agreed. It's fucking crazy. And he never lost a major battle. Just such a badass in every way.
Yeah, he's gonna be like, I watch documentaries in my free time. What is a woman? By this guy Matt Walsh. No. Yeah, dude, he's just a nerd, dude. Holy fuck. Calm down, everybody. Calm the fuck down. He's like the typical, like, I listen to fucking science podcasts and I'm learning when I'm listening to science podcast guy. Okay, that's it.
Yeah,
Where did he die? He died in Persia, right?
He died in a tent of a disease. It was whatever when he was like 24.
Yeah, that's right. He died young.
Exactly. If he didn't, I think history would be different.
Last one, take it off.
24. Yeah, and crazy thing about Alexander the Great, from Macedonia.
In Italy?
No, Macedonia is its own country, not even part of Greece anymore. So we imagine the most famous Greek person isn't even Greek.
Crazy.
Isn't that wild?
I must have skipped that part.
I didn't know he was considered Greek.
Yeah, no?
I just
Isn't
always
that the Greek Empire?
Yeah,
he's
he's
Macedonian.
Greek.
Oh,
He's Greek.
interesting.
It's- I mean,
But
he's considered
we,
Greek.
we look at that as what
Greek
year
Empire,
is
yeah.
Alexander?
Because he was Turkish, dog. That's how that works, you know what I mean?
Alexander the Great. This is like early Antigone, no?
Yeah, I think so.
I love your history. I like that.
I like it a little bit.
Yeah.
I just think it's so fascinating that like the way that we learn the world is not reflective of how it is now.
Yeah.
So it's been carved up since.
Yeah. It's
You
written
know?
by the winner and whoever wants to tell the story.
Yeah. Like Napoleon to us is this French guy.
The
He's
short
from
French
fucking
guy, yeah.
Corsica.
Yeah.
He's an Italian.
Yeah.
So when he like takes over Italy, they're like, well, yeah, you're from here.
Well,
you know what I mean? It's like one of the boys.
Hitler, the German, who's also Austrian originally. Like, yeah.
Like, I don't know, it just doesn't make any sense as you reflect back because, yeah, we keep carving it up.
And we also, we think it's done, but it's not done at all.
Yeah.
Russia could very well just take over Ukraine, and now that's Russia again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
USSR split, in the 80s? Like, the map
MrBeast
is
might
not
take over
done.
South Africa, and now that's just its own country.
His.
Yeah.
Add it to
And
America.
next time we open a Beast Burger, we're marching the Canadian border.
Let's go, baby!
I was thinking about that when I had all those people there. I was like, if I really wanted to, I could.
They told me to do this interview right before they did mine, and the reason why he has a laptop in front of him is because they were asking him how to like improve their socials or whatever, and he's like a wizard. Like that's what they said. He was like having a hard time opening up, and then like they put a fucking laptop in front of him, and they started asking him questions about like their YouTube, and he was just like Rain Man style, started fucking seeing numbers and shapes. Which is basically, I mean, that's the point. Like he's just, this is what he does. He lives and breathes YouTube. You know what I mean? That's what he does. Yeah, he just sat in front of a laptop and just was so good at fucking explaining all that shit, apparently.
That's the crazy part. This is you know how you say
I'm standing in front of a sea of 20,000 people, and I could get them to do whatever
You
I
could be
want.
president. Storm a little building here or there.
Isn't that crazy? No.
Anyway. Our chat is actually getting mad. This is just boys chatting with the homies with a bit of dark humor. Nah, there was no dark humor in that. My episode was like infinitely more problematic than this. If you think that there was anything here that was bad. No, chatters do get actually mad because they want to like, they just get mad at everything. Like oh God, I don't want to watch the slavery, affect your family thing. ADOS one. Let's watch your episode, Hasan. Smile. What, right after I said my episode is way more problematic than that? You can watch it on your own. If you want to clip some fucking clippable moments, you do that on your own, bitch. Okay. I think chat needs to understand that you can have a problem with the role of philanthropy within capitalism while also not hating MrBeast. Yeah. I like to judge people on like what their output is. If we're going to look at their output and what their intentions are and what their output is, like he does not, in my opinion, he doesn't meet the bar of like, this guy fucking needs to be taken down a peg. You know what I mean? Like that's it. That's my take. I think he's just a dude. Just a dude with a lot of money. And he is fucking ride or die for YouTube. He understands it completely.